is Wednesday, June 23. Welcome to CGN News. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has urged Jamaicans not to abandon caution, noting a spike in infections this summer could affect plans for the reopening of face-to-face learning for schools come September. Holness's warning came during an update to Parliament on adjustments to the existing disaster risk management order and plans for the reopening of the entertainment sector July 1. He noted that although the entertainment sector has suffered, the education sector has suffered even more. Holness revealed that as of July 1, the curfew will begin 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. Mondays to Saturdays and 6 p.m. until 5 a.m. on Sundays. He also said the existing work-from-home directive in the public sector, which is being extended until August 10, will be lifted once the drive to vaccinate vulnerable groups is accomplished. The Bahamian government has announced changes to curfew hours, testing requirements for travel and provisions for fully vaccinated individuals. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis said progress made in the management of COVID-19 has allowed the government to make changes to the emergency powers order. New curfew hours on New Providence and mainland Abaco will be 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., on Grand Bahama from midnight to 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. on Cat Island, North Andros and Central Andros. Effective July 1, the $10 travel health visa fee for vaccinated Bahamians and residents returning from overseas will be waived. Mask and sanitization protocols remain in place. The Antiguan government says there will be no mass public sector job loss if the country accepts a $100 million loan from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, to help shore up the pandemic-battered economy. Prime Minister Gaston Brown had earlier confirmed that he was holding talks with the IMF, but on Tuesday said no decision has been made. He said the terms will be concessionary and would not require the dismissal of a large number of public servants. The government had set up a committee to source funding as the island continues to be impacted by the pandemic. A government statement said revenue has declined by more than 40%. The Bahamas government says it will file an appeal with the Privy Council after the Court of Appeal affirmed a landmark ruling allowing Bahamian men to automatically pass citizenship to their children, regardless of whether their child is born out of wedlock to non-Bahamian mothers. Attorney General Carl Bethel said that the ruling will be appealed based on the division among the 5 judges who heard the case, the CMC reports. Attorney Wayne Monroe, who brought the case, said the practical implications of the ruling have immediate effect. Bahamians in a 2016 referendum rejected amending the Constitution to allow Bahamian fathers of children born out of wedlock to non-Bahamian mothers to automatically pass citizenship to their children. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has threatened to order the arrest of citizens who refuse COVID-19 vaccination and has told them to leave the country if they do not cooperate with efforts to end the public health emergency. Duterte said Monday that he was exasperated with people who refused to get immunized. He said that he would order village leaders to compile a list of defiant residents. Justice Secretary Bernardo Guevara acknowledged on Tuesday that there was no Philippine law criminalizing refusal to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. Human rights lawyer Edre Olalia raised concerns over Duterte's threat, saying the president could not order the arrest of anybody who has not clearly committed any crime. The U.S. has taken down dozens of Iranian and Iran-linked news sites which it accused of spreading disinformation. Many sites were offline on Tuesday with notices explaining they have been seized by the U.S. It comes amid heightening tensions between the U.S. and Iran over reinitializing a nuclear deal. The U.S. Department of Justice said the U.S. had seized 33 websites run by the Iranian Islamic Radio and Television Union and another 3 run by the Kataib Hezbollah militia in Iraq, Reuters news agency reported. The Justice Department said some of the domains were owned by a U.S. company and no license was obtained from the U.S. Treasurer's office prior to using them. The U.S. government will investigate former Native American boarding schools and search for remains of children who died in them, Interior Secretary Deb Haaland said on Tuesday. Haaland, the first Native American to serve as a cabinet secretary, introduced legislation calling for a Truth and Healing Commission into conditions at the schools. Conditions at residential schools gained global attention last month when Canada announced the discovery of unmarked graves of 215 children at the site of a former school for Indigenous children. The U.S. government, however, has yet to provide any true accounting of the legacy of such schools. For over 150 years, Native American children were forcibly removed from their tribes and sent to boarding schools beginning in 1819. Many were abused and tens of thousands disappeared, activists and researchers say. Wall Street giant Morgan Stanley staff and clients will be barred from entering its New York offices if they are not fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Unvaccinated employees will need to work remotely, a person familiar with the matter told Reuters. The policy comes into effect next month in a move aimed to allow the lifting of other COVID-related rules. Last week, the investment bank's chief executive called on workers to return to office. The BBC reports that the move will allow the company to remove restrictions on face coverings and social distancing. The policy now operates on an honor system, but the bank may later decide to require proof of vaccination status. North Korea has told the World Health Organization it tested more than 30,000 people for the coronavirus through June 10, but has yet to find a single infection. The WHO said in a monitoring report Tuesday that North Korea's testing figures included 733 people who were tested during June 4 to 10, of which 149 were with influenza-like illnesses or severe respiratory infections. Experts widely doubt North Korea's claim that it has not had a single case of the virus, given its poor health infrastructure and porous border with China, its major ally and economic lifeline. Describing its antivirus efforts as a matter of national existence, the North has banned tourists, jetted out diplomats, and severely restricted cross-border traffic and trade. And finally, Black Panther star Michael B. Jordan faced a wave of backlash over the name of his Juve rum brand, with many people taking issue with the use of the name and the cultural ties to it. He has since decided to listen to the people and make the necessary change. Jordan posted a message to his Instagram story on Tuesday, apologizing and vowing to change the name of his rum brand after he was criticized for its use, which is deeply rooted in Trinbagonian and Caribbean culture. A Change.org petition gained traction online and has more than 11,000 signatures. The petition was started to stop Jordan, citing inaccuracies with his trademark. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.